On the field. Off the field. Sports talk. Entertainment and more. This is Sauce on the Side.
Well, hello there, Dippers, and welcome back to episode 100 of the Sauce on the Side podcast. As always, Dippers, I'm your host, Drake, joined by the man, the producer, Mr. Leighton Pip Chaventone.
Drake, I was thinking about this weekend, and despite how much you hate Draymond Green, despite how hateful of LeBron James, Kevin Durant has to be your least liked player of all time. Because earlier this season, you bitched about how the NBA is all about next season. Well, here we were. We had to break everything up, and Kevin Durant decided to tear his Achilles, make everybody think 1 year ahead, one more year.
Oh, wow. Dude, you just put me in like an inception of free agencies. This is terrible.
I know. Right? We're on the cusp.
We're in one free agency, and we're already thinking about the next.
We were on the cusp of having all these great all players break up and be healthy places, but now two of them won't play for an entire year probably, and one's going to change teams too.
Wow. Dude, that's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, we were 1 day away.
1 day away. We were literally, just one game. He would make
Wow. Yeah. Jesus.
I can't wait you didn't hear him play now.
Yeah, I'm kind of shell shocked because that's all we're going to hear about during this free agency is next free agency.
Yep, a team going to sign Kevin Durant.
And I always complain about that. And here we were. We are here. We are finally at the point that we had all talked about for the last 3 seasons.
Yep.
And now we're not. It's next free agency.
Yep.
Wow. That's unbelievable. So, Dippers, be sure to listen on Spotify, iTunes, give us a 5-star review, download, subscribe, follow on Twitter and Instagram at The Saucy Pod. Fletch has been hot on the Instagram game lately, so...
really good at it, too.
Yeah, he is actually pretty good at it. We won't tell him that, though. So we have to wrap up the NBA Finals today, talk a little bit about the first domino in the free agency and trades and... draft, all that stuff. The first domino has fallen with Anthony Davis trade. We'll touch on that. We'll talk about O.J. Simpson and his Twitter account, and talk about the MLB and bring up some fallacies. So, Leighton C., the Toronto Raptors are the 2019 NBA champions. How weird is that to hear?
It's very odd. It's very, very odd. But, hey, you know, kudos to Fletcher. Whenever the full season started, you don't know who's the stereo. He said the Raptors team... I guess lost a lot. They could win it all this year.
Yeah, he actually liked the roster way more than what it was the year prior. And hell, here we were on the show talking about how we thought the Raptors had lost the trade.
Yeah.
We're just going to clarify. The Raptors did win the trade.
They did.
Against the Spurs. Anytime you win a title, cuts you off the hook for the next 10 years. So
yeah, any players moved in the trade to get to play 1 year title, you won that trade. No, what that player does forever, won the trade.
Absolutely.
Example. Red Sox traded Moncada for Chris Sale. Moncada might be a Hall of Famer. Doesn't matter. One of those series.
Yes.
The Yankees traded Gleyber Torres for Aroldis Chapman. Torres might be a Hall of Famer. Doesn't matter. One of those series.
Yes. Kind of like the Marlins whenever they win a World Series with like all the prospects that they got.
Yep. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. They're going to win a World Series. But Leighton C., I ask you, I had said it on a hot take to B-Reich. The Raptors are the most unlikely NBA champions of our lifetime. Leighton C., do you think that is true?
I don't think so. They were extremely unlikely. But just because Fletcher gave some amount of hope for that, I'm going to say no. The 2011 Mavericks and the 04 Pistons, to be that Lakers team, I think those two are more unlikely because with the Heat, in the beginning of a dynasty, LeBron, D-Wade, and Chris Bosh, they lost. Then the Pistons, they beat the 3-time reigning champion Lakers in only 5 games. So... while this Raptors team is definitely up there, I'm going to go with no.
Can I try to change your mind?
You always do, so might as well try one more time.
Okay, so this Raptors team... Okay, so I'm just going to bring up the title odds to start off. The 2011 Mavericks, 7th best title odds, they were 25-1. The Raptors, they were only 14-1, but they had the 5th best odds in the NBA, so it's very similar to 7th as the Mavericks. But the Heat... they were only a 1.6-1 favorite to win it all. So it's not it's not like you would have to bet more money than what you would make. The Warriors were minus 200. Like, you only see minus 200 to win championships whenever it's like game, set,
When the
match.
game's already over.
Yes. You get that for a series pricing, not a whole entire year pricing. So that's one of the reasons why. That Mavericks team was basically the same roster that they had the year before whenever they, took the Spurs to 6 games. And that was whenever the Spurs were the Spurs. And they had a coach in Rick Carlisle who, 9th season in the NBA, only had one season of a losing record, like a well-known coach, well-respected guy in the NBA. With a bunch of players, he had some cohesiveness. Plus, the whole starting 5 of that team, they were all between the ages of like 37, which was Jason Kidd because he was super old at the time, and 30. So you had a bunch of experienced guys who'd been around the league quite a bit. This Raptors team, one guy that started in the lineup last year, that started in the finals this year, Kyle Lowry. Only guy. So it was a bunch of guys who basically haven't played together, which in the NBA, we always talk about how as guys play together, they always get better. Imagine just, whenever we think about that Heat team, how bad they started off whenever they just got basically a brand new set of guys, and 3 of them happen to be top 15 players in the NBA. So they're taking 4 misfit toys, bringing them all together, let's go. And my last little point with this team, 0 lottery picks. Every single guy on that Mavericks starting 5, you could say, yeah, I could see him being in it. The day he came out, I could see him winning a title at some point. These were 5 guys or basically 8 guys, 14 guys, however many guys are on the NBA roster, 0 are lottery picks, and a first-year head coach. That's why I think this team is the most unlikely chance at an NBA title.
Okay. That was good. And the fact that they will play the Warriors, that make that help. However, by the end of the year, they did have. By the end of the year, you knew they had good players. You knew Siakam
the players were in place.
You knew right then. With the plus to all the Pistons team, the Pistons team did go into 3 straight finals with Ben Wallace and Chauncey Billups and all them. The Mavericks team, though, the 2 best players were Dirk, who was like 35.
I think he was like.
I hold down the court.
I think he was 33 at the time.
And Jason Terry.
Yeah. No, it is true. Both of them very unlikely.
I will put the Raptors team above the Pistons team, but I don't think I can put any NBA champion team ever again above the 2011 Mavs. Just because it's a good. With the way teams are made today, we would probably want to see a team like that Mavericks team win a title ever again.
No, probably not.
Because they had 0 superstars.
Yeah, but they also weren't going against a team that we had seen in 5 straight finals, like a team that basically was a lock to win the championship.
They're up against the first quote-unquote super team ever.
But it was their first year, and they started off terrible.
Their first year. You can make an argument that was the second best year, though, together.
Yeah, you absolutely could.
Yeah, so I'm going to say Mavericks face the most unsurprising team possibly ever.
Okay.
Definitely my lifetime.
Okay. So I've seen basically all week people have just been talking about how tainted this title is because, obviously the Warriors weren't at full strength. Leighton C., do you think that that's fair to say? Do you look at this title as being tainted?
Yes. And if Kevin Durant was healthy, I think the Warriors would have won this series.
You think?
Not to mention Clay was healthy to win this series. I'm very confident. I am like 95% confident KD was healthy, 100% they would have won this series. But in 2 seasons, no one's going to talk about it anymore.
No,
It'll be a
absolutely
thing.
not.
Kind of like how Draymond Green told Kevin Durant's face, we won a title without you. You did, but you beat LeBron James, Iman Shumpert, and Tristan Thompson.
Yes, and do you remember whenever Steph Curry, following that season, somebody asked him about the title being tainted, he basically said, well, we played who was in front of us. We'll rectify it the following season, and they ended up losing to the Heat at full strength, or
the
Cavaliers. To the Cavaliers at full strength.
Yeah. So yes, it's tainted, and yes, no one's going to care in 2 or 3 years. It's just going to be the one championship, and you're going to have out there those hardos that can't let anything go. It's going to say, well, they got Kawhi Leonard. He only beat this team. They didn't have X, Y, and Z. Skip.
Yes.
Skip, Chris Broussard, other kind of guys who pull those things out to help prove their point so many years later.
Yes. But let me add this. So if we say that this title is tainted, we can't say that there's been a fair NBA champion in the last 4 years. I mean, you just look at last year. Warriors down 3-2 to the Rockets. Chris Paul misses the last 2 games. That title would have to be tainted if we're going to call them tainted. 2017 Warriors, down 23 points to the Spurs. Kawhi Leonard gets injured. They end up winning that game and sweeping the series. 2016 Cavs, down 3-1. Draymond Green gets suspended. Cavs win a game in Oracle and then win the series in 5. 2015, Kyrie plays the first 43 minutes of the series. Kevin Love never steps on the floor. Warriors win it in 6. So if this is a tainted title, then we haven't had a fair NBA championship in the last 5 years. And to me, that's not fair to say to the Raptors, because part of ability is availability. And you have to be able to be on the court in order to win a title. So if we can say, yeah, the Warriors might have won a championship had Kevin Durant not gotten hurt, more likely than not they would have, but you have to be healthy. That's part of playing in the NBA. And I mean, you even look at the season where Paul George missed a whole season and he was a top 10 player in the NBA. Well, maybe that title should be tainted. And you have players missing time all the time. But for some reason, just because it happened, this team was still good enough to make it to the finals without Kevin Durant. And just because Kevin Durant's not there, we're going to say that this title is tainted. I don't think that's fair at all. Especially whenever everybody talked all season how this team, this Warriors team, is so good and the West is so much better than everybody else. They go out there without Kevin Durant, still beat the second best team in the best conference 4-0, and then the Raptors beat that team. I just don't think that that's a fair shake to the Raptors, and basically for any of the teams that have won a title over the last 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, in futures it won't matter, but for right now it's tainted, but
yes,
futures it won't matter.
It'll matter for Skip. I can't wait. Skip will die on his throne saying that
number 2?
Yeah, number 2 should not have any MVPs of a NBA championship. So, wait and see. How will this Raptors team be looked upon as an all-time great NBA team?
I don't think they really looked upon as one. And it's not because they're not a great team. It's because it's not going to be a dynasty. Like the Spurs. They're probably just as good as those Spurs team that won those championships, but the Spurs did it for like a decade straight. If Kawhi doesn't come back, Raptors probably win a title again next year.
They definitely won't win a title next year.
They are likely to win a title without Kawhi Leonard next season. So, well, this team was very good. It will be forgotten. Just like, for example, those 4 Pistons. They beat the Lakers. Very good team. Lost their Spurs back-to-back years. No one talks about how they won just one more of those. They'll be mentioned more often as the best, not dynasty teams ever. But they're just not, because they didn't get there often enough. Yeah,
it'll be one of the teams that put it all together whenever it mattered the most. But an all-time team, like you said, we have to see it for 4 seasons in the NBA until we say that you are one of the best of all time. So, do you think that this is going to change how teams look at the one-year rentals of players now that the Raptors were able to win with Kawhi? It almost seems like it's kind of been answered for us already with Anthony Davis already being moved for a lot of pieces. But do you think more teams are going to jump on that bandwagon?
Dude, yeah, back to Anthony Davis thing. Like, I was ready to say yes to this question. I was rounding it all out, and I was like, wait, no, I don't think it's going to be, because the Celtics didn't trade Jason Tatum because they couldn't guarantee Anthony Davis was going to stay there. And so, if teams had nothing to lose, or teams need to get rid of a guy, like, team nothing to lose really, like the DeMar DeRozan trade, sure, they'll go for that. But if a team has a bright future and then they have to trade their pieces for that, then I don't think so. I think that we'll see guys being traded at the All-Star break for rentals of high-stake players more often, but I don't think so in terms of this one whole season and then gone.
Right. I think I agree with you that teams won't be more apt to do it, but I don't know why they shouldn't do it, because you look at the 2 guys who are in situations that they were not happy with, that got traded recently, like in the off season leading up to their final year of their contract. You have Paul George, who, I mean, all they did was get him in the building, and they were able to re-sign him for long term. And Kawhi Leonard, you trade for him, and you immediately win an NBA championship. So I don't see, and we don't even know like if Kawhi could re-sign with them. He might like it there. So I don't see why teams are going to still shy away from we only get a 1-year rental of this guy. Well, there's 2 instances of it. One team won a title, and the other team was able to keep that guy long term and basically give away 2 guys that they at the time you didn't realize those guys were good. Yeah. So I think that it should change the way teams look at it, but I don't necessarily think it will.
Yeah, so I was trying to think of an example. I kind of thought of an okay one. Let's say the Trailblazers. Let's say Kevin Durant signed with New York. 3 years go by, Trailblazers say, hey, let's trade McCollum for Kevin Durant. That, I think, would be okay time to do it. But if you're the Kings, you're not going to trade Buddy Hield and De'Aaron Fox and Barry Jr. for Kevin Durant, because that's the entire team, entire future gone for one guy.
You have to be close.
You have to be close.
Yes.
Yep.
You have to be close. You have to be a playoff team to do that. Kind of like the Raptors were.
Yeah, and you get not just playoff team, you got to be one of the hierarchy playoff teams.
Yes. No, I absolutely agree with that. So Klay Thompson ends up actually tearing his ACL during Game 6. Do you think that will affect his free agency at all?
Not one bit.
I do not.
No.
The Warriors are going to pay him what they were going to pay him. Klay Thompson wasn't going to leave the Warriors. I think this is just game, set, match. Yep. He's going to get his money.
This is just very unfortunate for the Warriors. That's all this is.
And to kind of put a bow on things for the NBA season, Leighton C., are the Raptors going to go to the White House?
So you're asking me because of who the president is, or you're asking me because they're from Canada?
Well, I mean, they're the NBA champion.
Okay.
But they're from Toronto, which is obviously outside of the United States.
Yeah.
Do you think, do they get invited, or how does that work? I don't know.
I Googled this today.
Okay.
Whenever the Blue Jays went back-to-back at 82, 83, they got both times. In 82, they did go. In 83, they did not go, but I think there was some Canadian holiday thing they had to be at that year. And that's a cool because it would, because hockey teams win it all the time from Canada, because hockey sport. They didn't remember. So I'm going to say that they definitely get invited. Not sure who's all going to go to the White House. Yeah. But I think they'll be invited. Marc Gasol will be at the White House, I think. Marc Gasol will go.
Yeah, probably. But Van Vliet, I think Van Vliet will go.
Vliet might go. Oh, he's from Rockford.
Yeah.
Everyone's acting.
Did you hear? Okay, so remember whenever LeBron said, "Cleveland, this is for you." Did you hear the first? Whenever Van Vliet was on the mic, he was the first guy interviewed following Game 6 win. He said, "Rockford, this one's for you."
I did hear that. That was cool.
That was kind of funny. I got a kick out of that. But yeah, I don't know. I will be interested to see if they get invited first. That's the first step. They almost have to.
Yeah, they'll be invited, I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
I'm sure
but they have the ultimate bailout. If they don't want to go.
They don't get from Canada.
We're
just to Canada. We'll go to Norman's office.
Yeah.
I don't know who the Prime Minister of Canada is, but we'll go to his place.
Yeah. Well, Norm, he's like, is he?
He's some kind of politician.
Yeah, he's some kind of politician. Yeah. Just go to Norm's office. Just make it easy.
Go to Norm's crib.
Yeah. But I'm really looking forward to seeing if they actually get the invite. It'll be fun.
So you think that's going to be one of the most exciting things for the NBA offseason? They get the invite?
Yeah, because we have to wait till next season to really get into free agency.
So you think this free agency is kind of like all of false now? All for nothing?
All for nothing.
You think the NBA will ever get to the this year league?
No, it's the NBA.
You have more thoughts for us?
Yes, I do.
It was all a dream. I used to read Run Up magazine.
LeVar Ball always said his boys would play in LA all together. Last time I checked, Leighton C., what's the abbreviation for Louisiana?
LA.
LeVar Ball on Bourbon Street is like putting out a wildfire with motor oil. Anthony Davis, welcome to LA, where no matter what you do over the next 3 years, you will not be appreciated. The end of an era. The 2 best super teams of the 21st century were ended by a guy who doesn't even know how to laugh properly. Zion Williamson. If he's ever good in the NBA, we can attribute it to him playing on the same team as LeVar's son. Skip! Number 2. Both rings and MVP trophies. Spoiler alert, no matter what Kawhi or where Kawhi goes next year, Skip will tell us how that team got worse. We are officially at the point of the year where baseball is the only sport left alive. ESPN's seat is getting pretty warm. I can't wait for a Friday afternoon. I'll be watching SportsCenter and they'll be tracking which quarterbacks are looking to take the next step. Spoiler alert, that has been the same list for the last 5 years. Dennis Green, they are who we think they are. Coors Field, flooded in the middle of a game this weekend. I think it was the tears of all the Rockies fans defending themselves that playing at Coors doesn't help offensive production, all while 92 runs were being scored in 4-game series. And there's a new book out this week, and it's titled My First Try at Revenge, and it was written by O.J. Simpson's Twitter account. And those have been my thoughts. So wait and see. Little NBA trade news here. The first domino in the NBA offseason has fallen. Anthony Davis is traded to the Lakers in exchange for Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, the number 4 pick this season, and 2 first-round picks in the future. Wait and see. Just first thought, what do you think about this trade?
So, from the Lakers standpoint, I like the trade because they did one thing they had to do, which was get another superstar in the building. They could have taken the chance at free agency and see if they bring a guy in, but for the sure thing, and got one in the building that knows going to be time for next season. So now they have a lot of money. Did you know that they don't have enough space for a max contract?
Oh yeah, dude. They have like 5 guys on the roster.
Yeah, no, but they don't have enough money for a max contract still. And
they have 5 guys on the roster because LeBron's making like $40 million.
Yeah, and they won't until July 30th because of some NBA thing.
Wow, so they're going to miss out on a lot.
So the options are they can hold off for this AD trade until July 30th, make it official, then have the max slots, or July 6th, something like that. Then have.
But if you hold off on this trade, then you're going to be picking for the Pelicans, and that trade could fall through at any point, and then we're going to have like
the whole lot of goodwill here going on in this trade.
Kobe Bryant's picture at the draft, he had a Hornets hat on. So we're going to have like DeAndre Hunter or some guy in a Lakers hat who's going to be a Pelican in like 2 weeks. And then he won't be able to play on the Summer League for the Pelicans.
Yeah. So
that'd be awkward.
So the option that would be really fucking awkward, actually.
It would be.
So the options are have that happen, or try to sign a star player for just below the max, or kind of somehow manipulate the money so it works out that way. I don't understand the NBA money month thing. Makes sense to me. Or they can do what I think they should do, and go sign a bunch of veteran players with very specific skill sets. Because the best team LeBron James was ever on, probably the 2012-2013 Heat team, where they had Mario Chalmers and Shane Battier and Chris Anderson and Norris Cole, who all had really defined roles.
I think you forgot Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh.
Well, yes, they had those 2 guys on the team, but besides those 2, they had guys with very defined roles that were strong players. And right now they can go sign Trevor Ariza, Dan Green, and Patrick Beverly, players like that who can. Dan Green, Beverly can shoot and play defense. Ariza can shoot and play defense. They can sign guys like that instead of just 1 star and then sign guys for vet minimum. Yeah,
but the problem you're going to run into is a guy like Danny Green is going to be getting like $10 million this offseason or more. And then like I saw ESPN had like the little thing where you move players from free agency. Dude, some guy had the Lakers already titled into getting Brook Lopez, bringing him back, even though they didn't want him. He had them getting...
Where are they going to put Brook Lopez?
Then they had him getting J.J. Redick, who is coming off of his season.
I heard J.J. Redick, no way they're going to get him.
Yeah,
they can afford him.
You can't afford him. The guy scored 18 points a game this season. The guy's like a legitimately good basketball player.
Career year, J.J. Redick. Take cut.
And he was making like $20 million on the 76ers. Yeah. So... I don't see how they're going to, especially in today's NBA, I don't know how you're going to get enough guys to come in and say, yeah, I'll take a pay cut to go over there and play.
And they're going to end up signing Kemba Walker or Kyrie Irving, Jimmy Butler, something like that. And then they're going to have guys for vet minimum and rookies.
Yes.
What sucks about this trade is, though, they had to trade Josh Hart and Lonzo Ball. So now they have actually no backcourt.
And Brandon Ingram.
Fortunately, LeBron James can run the point some, but you can't have LeBron James being the point the entire game, because think about it again, Drake. The best 2 LeBron James teams were when you had Kyrie Irving, who could run the point, and D. Wade, who could run the offense, and Mario Chalmers, who can run the offense.
Yeah, or they can just bring back Rajon Rondo, because that worked out so well, bringing in a point guard who can't shoot, when LeBron James is notorious for playing with point guards who could shoot.
Yeah. So... Lakers did one thing right, but they have like another 14 steps to go.
Yes. So this trade just blows my mind. So Anthony Davis, obviously, it has to have been said that he was going to sign with the Lakers. Like, re-sign up. Because he had came out and said, after everybody was talking about how the Celtics wanted him and the Lakers wanted him, and they were basically fighting back and forth, he came out and publicly said, if I go to the Celtics, basically it's going to be a one-year rental. So he's got to be knowing that he's re-signing. For them to give up this much, because you think about it, LeBron James he's on a 2-2 player option, and he could realistically be gone after this season. And you gave up 2 future first-round picks, which we could be looking at this again. The Pelicans had Anthony Davis on their team, and they're picking first in this draft. Now that you've traded away basically, 50% of your young talent, and you traded away 2-3 first-round picks, this team could be bad again in 3 years, and the Pelicans could be sitting back looking like champions because the Lakers are picking back in the lottery again because they're playing with a team that's ran by Anthony Davis, no LeBron James, no young talent to get any better. So that's something I think that nobody's really talking about as far as the makeup of this team and how things could play out down the future. The Lakers could realistically get 2 lottery picks out of this if LeBron were to leave. But this trade, man, a lot to handle.
It's a lot of pieces moving for one thing. That's the hardest part.
For the one thing. Now, they could go out, like you said, and just sign a bunch of older veterans that are hopefully just trying to ring chase. But then at the end of the day, you're just going to basically have a bunch of older veterans with no other max contract guys, which in today's NBA, you have to have the max contract guys in order to win. Unless you just put everything together like
the
Toronto.
Raptors just did.
Yes.
This happened to nail every fucking dart on dart. Will this happen to all both sides?
Who do you think won this trade? If you had to say that there was a winner, who would you say won the trade?
Right now, it's definitely the Lakers.
You think the Lakers?
Because they got Anthony Davis. Real quick, let me go. Yes, they traded 3 first-round picks. I'm going to say this in a second, but let me tell you how Dave Giffin's done with first-round picks. Ready for this?
Yes.
In 2014, he gave a layup with Andrew Wiggins.
Yes.
That then traded for Kevin Love more of the picks. The next year, he traded Tyus Jones. That's it. He made 2 first-round picks his entire career. Okay, they traded first-round picks for Kevin Love, and he was fired before the June draft.
Wow.
The 2017. He made 2 first picks his entire career, and one was a layup. His next pick will also be a layup with Zion Williamson.
Oh yeah.
So we have no idea how you're gonna do with those picks. Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram. Lonzo Ball look good at times, but is he healthy? And if he is healthy, can he be good for 90 games, which is what you need for the end postseason? Brandon Ingram, same thing. Ingram looked really good for 20 games last year. Can you do it for 90 to 100 games that you need? Don't know. So right now today, Lakers won the pick.
See, I don't know. Because the Pelicans basically took something that wouldn't be there next year and was able to get the King's ransom for it. And we knew the guy was going to walk in free agency. So they basically took one pick that they made 6 years ago and changed it into 3 picks and basically 2 more picks because Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram are still young guys. Brandon Ingram, you're going to have to re-sign him after this year. But Brandon Ingram's turned into a pretty good basketball player and basically flew under the radar while doing so. There were only 12 guys in the NBA last year that scored over 18 points per game and shot over 49%. Brandon Ingram was one of them. The rest of them were like basically 7-footers, and then you had I think it was guys that were under 6'10" that did this was Kevin Durant, or at least listed as under 6'10", Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard. Mm-hmm. Those are the only 3 guys in the NBA outside of Brandon Ingram that scored over 18 points on 49% better shooting. And then you look at Lonzo Ball. Like, Lonzo Ball's still only like 22, 23 years old. He's going to get better. You look at what he shot in college. He shot 55% from the field in college. He's shooting 38% in the NBA. He shot 41% in college from 3. He's shooting 31% in the NBA from 3. And his free throw percentage, which is basically the only thing that does not change, it went from 67% to 43%. So, obviously, his shot is messed up. And if he figures out how to have a jump shot, which we've seen him have in the past, they're going to blow this trade away.
Yeah.
I mean,
if, though.
Yes, if. But that's not even that big of an if. Like, the guy still is a very good point guard. He can run an offense phenomenally. Like, can you imagine the lobs he's going to be throwing to Zion, like, on a day in, day out? And he's with the Brandon Ingram, who he's already played with? I don't know. I think that the Pelicans, right now, I think they've won the trade, and we've never really seen LeBron play with a guy like Anthony Davis, so it's going to be something very interesting to watch. But I guess we'll know this time next year who won the trade, because that championship window for the Lakers team is going to be very, very small.
Will be.
But wait and see. So, how do you think New Orleans should go about this now that they have that pick and they have those picks? Do you think that they should just try to acquire as much talent as possible, or where do you think they should go from here?
I bet the thing today that they're looking at shopping the pick around, moving back, if female picks in the lottery. If they didn't get the 2 lottery picks from the Hawks, then they gotta do that.
Absolutely.
And with the talent drop off from 3 to 4, and then from the lottery to anything else, you gotta take 2 lottery picks or a 4 pick, because if you pick Garland, he's played 5 college games.
Yeah.
College games. Kobe White, he could give me a player. Who's the guy from Virginia?
Oh, DeAndre Hunter.
DeAndre Hunter. He could be really good, but you don't know. I have 2 top 10
He's
picks.
maybe Kawhi Leonard.
Is that okay? But how good is Kawhi Leonard really going to be?
No, I mean, he's better than Kawhi was in college. I mean, that's safe to say.
Okay.
But he's good.
Yeah.
Won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
But they win a championship win a championship with him. And last year, whenever they didn't have him, they lost to a 16 seed.
Yeah. So you can do that. You gotta do that. But I think that they'll keep the pick. I think they should take the best player available, because Drew Holiday won't be there after next year.
Yeah.
So they need guards, then they need forwards to take the best guy there, figure it out. I honestly think after pick 1-4 for the Pelicans, that coach had the least amount of pressure of any coach in the NBA. He said, okay, I got to go to me here. I just got to figure out what's going to stick and what you get rid of.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Dude, if you're the Pelicans right now, you try to trade all 3 picks that you got from the Lakers to move up to number 2.
Oh yeah, there's no way.
If you can do that, that would be
no. That's what they should try to do. But there's no way.
And take on the Chandler Parsons or the Mike Conley contract. Like, take on this just terrible contract. That way you can for sure get John Morant for the next however. Like, you take on that Mike Conley contract. You send all those picks over there. You get John Morant. That would be the most beautiful thing ever. And I actually have an idea that would even be funnier for the Pelicans.
What's that?
Go ahead and trade Drew Holiday to any team that'll take him. You sign D'Angelo Russell to the max. You sign Brook Lopez. And then you have, basically, your starting 5 is all the Lakers castaways plus Zion Williamson. Because you'd have Brook Lopez, who they didn't want. Oh, you got to re-sign Julius Randle, too. You have Brook Lopez, who they didn't want. You have Julius Randle, who they didn't want. You have Lonzo Ball, who they didn't want. And you have Brandon Ingram, who they didn't want. All playing around Zion, and we'll see if they can get the job done.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, because it would really show how bad the Lakers have mismanaged this team over the last probably 4 or 5 years, with the exception of getting LeBron James.
Yeah. One thing, though, that this trade showed and no one talked about is people thought that LeBron James didn't like Kyle Kuzma. Kuzma's still there. Yeah. LeBron James likes Kyle Kuzma.
Yes. If there's one thing you do if you want to stay on a team and LeBron's on that team, just be friends with LeBron. You don't even have to be good.
Yeah.
That's really the truth.
I don't know. I'm so excited.
Was it James Jones, who's won like 3 NBA titles?
He's a 3 championship. He's a LeBron James fan.
Yes. That's important.
I think he got actual minutes on the first time they did in 2011, and they lost. So he didn't play much of that.
That's too funny. So how do you think this will affect the rest of the NBA offseason and free agency?
So for free agency purposes, it obviously narrows it down what the Lakers can do now, because they're not going to take for Bradley Beal. They're going to try to sign a superstar. My idea of them trying to sign Beverly and Danny Green, that sounded really cool, and they make a really solid team. They're not going to fucking do that. No way. They see how things have looked in the past. Say, okay, we got to get Kemba Walker, we got to get Kyrie, somebody. I think we're done. For the Pelicans now, they're open a window to them trying to trade Drew Holiday.
Yes.
I think that they will try to trade Drew Holiday, because all he's going to do now is not stunt the growth, but definitely slow down the growth of Ball and Hart.
Yeah.
He's just going to get in their way. And Drew Holiday, he's a veteran, but I don't think his IQ is up there high enough to really teach these guys anything.
No, I definitely agree with that. I think it's really weird now, because the Lakers are in a spot where, hey, we had all these guys that they were going to sign to this max contract in the offseason. Now that hope's basically gone away. And I think, if anything, this trade, the biggest winner of this trade, just for the remainder of the offseason, is the Clippers.
because now
they're the team in LA that can sign the max guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the time, how many times do you hear people just say, "Oh, this player wants to go to LA. This player has ties to the area. He wants to go back to LA." You hear that every single week. They're talking about how all these players want to go to LA. Well, now if you're up for the max, there's one spot you can go, and you're basically the Clippers, who are obviously in a major market, being in LA, a destination place for all these players, and now you're the team. And for the first time in basically ever, the Clippers are now the place for a max contract guy to sign. You're the only place, because the Lakers can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're going to be the hottest girl on the bar. Got to be the only girl on the bar.
That's true. That's very, very true. So, wait and see. It is time for us to play some darts.
Actually, real fast, I want to talk about the NBA for another second real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it a little bit last week, but this offseason for the Knicks has been the worst way they could have mounted anything going ever.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Like, if you were to draw up and the thing that can go wrong for the Knicks, anything that's going wrong.
They were printing Zion Williamson jerseys.
The only thing that makes this worse now is R.J. Barrett gets hurt before the draft. Or at the combine. The only thing they can make it now and Thursday, R.J. gets hurt. The only thing to make it any worse.
No, that's 100% the truth. Because you had Zion Williamson, he's gone. You have Kevin Durant. Well, Kevin Durant's gone for the remainder of next year.
Might still come to you, but it won't matter for next year.
It won't matter for next year. And then Kyrie Irving, he was locked to be there, and now he prefers Brooklyn over them. The Knicks, so far in like the last probably month and a half, things have just spiraled out of control for them. Which basically is just par for the course. Things have been spiraling out of control for them since they traded for Melo. So I love that.
And now they gotta hope that Paul George opts out next year and wants to go in New York for some reason.
Yeah, basically. That's all they have at this point.
Like, cause next year free agency class, I'm pretty sure is very lackluster compared to what we've had the past couple seasons.
Yes.
Okay, I feel like every superstar player has signed a long-term deal now over the past 2 years.
Yeah, well, we'll have the LeBron thing that'll be really weird next year, but other than that.
No, LeBron can't opt out for another year.
Oh, it's another year.
Yeah, so he's locked in for 2 more years at LA before he can think about opting out.
Okay, I thought it was a 2-2, so he's locked in for 2 more years. Okay, so I can buy that. It'll be very lackluster.
It sucks to be Spike Lee right now.
Yes, but the Knicks are going to overpay for somebody, and I can't wait. I'm all here for it.
Tobias Harris, lock it up. Lock it in.
Lock it in. So, wait and see. It's time for us to play some darts. What is the game for us today? Pew, 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 pew. We're playing darts, baby.
This week is the NBA draft. I get pretty excited for the NBA draft. So I was thinking about things I get excited for in sports. So we don't have a game for it. We're just going to throw darts. I have sport events on my phone. We're going to gauge our excitement level for these. So it goes 1 through 11, 11 being very excitable. So right now, think about the most excited for. For me, it's NFL Week 1. That's an 11. I got to gauge everything off of that now. There can't be another 11 because that's already a number 11.
Okay. But NFL Week 1, the Bears play the Packers in the opening game. If your excitement is 11, where does that put me?
You all show 11.
But I think I'd be more excited.
For different reasons, though. I'm super excited because we get to go with Jacksonville football all day and eat awesome food and play fantasy football and FanDuel and all that stuff.
I think there has to be an 11.1.
Okay, fine. There can be a 12.
No, just an 11.1.
11.1.
That's only if... Here's an 11.1, Leighton. Okay. Red Sox... Okay, opening... Let's say this, okay? An excitement level for you would be like Red Sox winning an ALCS, going to the World Series.
That'd be 11.1.
No, that's an 11. Okay? An 11.1 would be the Red Sox winning an ALCS Game 7 against the Yankees. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's there, but an 11.1.
It exists. Okay.
So, latency. Let's throw a dart.
We'll do 3 of these.
Yeah, we'll do 3.
Okay.
We have a 4.
A 4 is NFL Divisional Round. Okay. This is, after week 1, the best week of the NFL.
Keep in mind that we had Connor Cook starting for a team and Brock Osweiler starting for another team in the divisional round. Oh, no, that was Wild Card Weekend.
Wild Card Weekend, yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Divisional Round is Wild Card winners and division winners.
Okay.
Man. it's tough for this one because we get through the whole NFL season half every week, and then it's the playoffs. You can't give him for that one. I don't know. I'm gonna go with like an 8 or a 9 for this one.
Yeah.
I definitely look forward to it, but I think I have so much NFL leading up to it. I'm not like dying for it to come.
See, I'm a little different than you. I think I would put it up a little higher. I'm going to go with like a 9.75 on this.
Oh, we're doing decimal for these things.
Yeah, you almost have to, man, because,
okay.
I mean, you have an excitement level on every different boundary here.
Uh-huh.
I'm going 9.75. I'm actually almost more excited for this than what I am for the NFC, AFC championship games, just because I get more games.
No, that's my thing, too. You get more. Like, I want to have this in Super Bowl.
Yeah, you get a Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to go with a 9.75.
Okay.
And if the Bears are playing, then it's like probably like a 10.5, but I haven't got to see that in a while, so they're going 9.75.
Definitely high. Definitely will look forward to the most besides the beginning of the season. For sure.
Yeah. So what was yours, 8?
8. I'm giving it 8.
Okay, solid round 8. So now my throw. And we have an 11.
11 is, the NBA draft.
The NBA draft, okay.
This one changes a lot from year to year.
Yes, it does. It changed because we basically know what the first 2 picks are going to be. I'm going to go like a 6.5.
I'm going to go 5.3. I'm going to go 5.3. Like, I'm going to watch it, but by watch, I mean, I'm going to have it on TV. I'm going to play with my phone and shit doing it.
Yeah. The more I'm thinking...
Like, I don't really care if I see it or not. I'm going to look at the results later.
Yeah, because, okay, the way I'm going to gauge this is like a 5. I'm going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, basically anything above that, I'm going to watch. Anything below that, I'm not. And yeah, I think it falls in the realm of things that you'll watch and whatever.
Like,
it's basically like watching one of your baseball teams in game, like, 67 against a team that you really don't give a shit about on the other side.
Exactly. It's a middle of June baseball game.
Yes, that's basically what it is. Like, I'm going to watch it, and then I'll watch intently whenever the Pacers are picking, but other than that, that's it.
And then you might watch the highlights after. Even then, it doesn't really matter because you're going to look back and see what happened after.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair.
Yeah. So, NBA draft, 5.3. You got to give it,
6.5.
Okay.
So next, wait and see. And we have a 2.
A 2 is the Masters.
Ooh.
Now, on this list, there's also PGA Tour majors excluding the Masters.
Okay.
So, Masters is its own thing. So, it's just the Masters.
So, this is one of those things that I watch, but I watch on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And only Sunday. Like, 5 point... No, I'd say more so than... It's right around the NBA draft. It's right around the NBA.
So?
Because I don't watch the first 3 days. It's not like I'm like a hardo on Thursday waking up. Mm-hmm. When I play the little...
You're not taking off work to watch the Masters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, NCAA basketball, start of the March Madness. I've done that 2 years in a row now. But this, I'm going to go probably a 6.8. Mm-hmm. And that's just because I don't watch the second round of the NBA draft, really. Nobody does. 6.8.
Yeah. So, back when I was playing golf before my back just decided that it was just done doing twisty things all of a sudden, this would have been like a 9. Like, I used to wake up and watch the British Open, like, early shit in the mornings when I was playing golf. But I don't play golf anymore. I can't lose interest in it. So, I'm with you. I'm going to go, like, 5.7.
5.7?
Just above the NBA draft.
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch it on Sunday. If Tiger's playing, it's an 11 because holy shit, it's Tiger playing.
Yeah.
But anybody else, even on the Sunday day, it's a 5.5 probably.
Yeah.
Like, have it on TV. If someone else wants to do something, like, I'm not going to base my day around the Masters.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, Tiger did play and played well, obviously, this last time. And, like, Sunday, I woke up ready to go, went and watched it with a buddy. So that's different. But, yeah, I would just say, like, a 6-7 regularly. Let's throw one more. Last one. And we have a 14.
14 is the NFL preseason.
Ooh. This is a preemptive excitement.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of preseason.
I end up watching. I don't watch it. I don't watch the games live, but I end up seeing a lot of preseason plays still.
Yeah, I watch a lot of preseason live just because I'm ready for football and I know football's there. I'm going to go a 7-4.
I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to go 8-6. But because my subconscious knows that this also brings fantasy drafts.
Yes.
So I know this starts in 3 weeks. I have like 5 drafts. I am booked for a solid week.
Yeah.
See, just because of fantasy action, I'm going to go a little higher.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with 7-5. And I'm going to stick with that just because, I'm excited that it's football. And basically I'm going with 7-5 just because I'm going to kind of score it down because you're only going to get to see the starters and guys that are going to get to play or have a chance to make a roster for only, maybe 40 total minutes of of one team's 4 games there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think 7-5 is a fair score for that.
Okay.
So, late and see. A little NFL news. Kind of nice we threw that dart there on the preseason because O.J. Simpson officially has a Twitter now. It is at the real OJ32. Don't you think he could have came up with a better Twitter handle for himself?
I think he's trying to make the least controversial Twitter handle he could have made. And he did a good job doing that.
You think we can come up with a better one?
Oh, yeah. I think 2 that are better.
I have a couple that are better. So this is our time to basically pick OJ's Twitter handle. So let's see what you got.
OJ the White Bronco.
OJ the White Bronco. I like that.
I got OJ If I Did It.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And they got OJ Big Hands.
OJ Big
Not
Hands.
as good if I did, but OJ Big Hands.
So I have 2 that are kind of like decent, and then I have one that's like super clever. Mm-hmm. And I'll do them in order. So the first one, at Double Trouble.
Okay.
I like that one a little bit. And then at Runaway Bronco.
Okay.
I thought that was a good one. And then this is the super clever one. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
At the number 3,
okay.
Gloves, the number 2, small.
Ooh.
At 3 Gloves, 2 small.
Nice.
What do you think about those?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I love that one.
Yeah,
Playing off the OJ32.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. At 3 Gloves, 2 small. So this was controversial. Basically with everything OJ's done. His first tweet. So have you seen his tweets at all yet?
This video, Sunday.
They're only videos.
He tweeted one today about some man talking shit about him and Kylie Jenner. I didn't watch the video, but I'm going to later.
Oh, guys, let's not forget that OJ is the reason why we've been keeping up with Kardashians.
Let's not forget.
Yeah, we should. I think that's something we always look over glance. Mm-hmm. And people are mad that OJ now has a Twitter account, which obviously nobody supports OJ. Everybody knows he's an idiot. Mm-hmm. But if you watch the Kardashians, you're kind of feeding into the whole thing here. You know what I'm saying? Because they got famous off of the one case, so it kind of spiraled out of control.
Yeah, I saw a thing. I saw a tweet one time. It was a big old.
It was a list of things?
It was a list.
Mm-hmm.
It was, this player dropped the pass in the end zone, giving the Bills this record. Allowed them to draft O.J. Simpson at this pick in the draft. And then all the dominoes fall into the fact that ended with him hiring Lee Cochran to be his lawyer, who has to be Kardashian's dad, the legal dad. And then, boom.
Now we're here where we are today.
Yeah. I don't know who the receiver was, but he really made a lot of shit happen.
Yeah. So next time you get mad at your boyfriend for yelling at the TV whenever the football game's going on, just understand.
Just remember they gave the Kardashians.
Yes, this could end up with us having a whole nother run at the Kardashians. So his first tweet, he made a video, and he actually said that the Twitter account is for him, which it's weird that he even just makes just videos and no tweets. Did nobody show him what Instagram is? But his tweet, which was a video, he said he has, quote, a little getting even to do.
I saw that. I think he started that today with at the media manager. I have not watched the video yet. I don't know what's going on with the whole him and Kylie Jenner media thing, but...
Yeah, that's bad.
I'm excited to watch that video.
Yeah, not a good idea, OJ. So, latency, we're going to help him rewrite his bio. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm sure it's pretty boring. I didn't really take time to look at it, but what do you got? What should his Twitter bio read?
NFL Hall of Fame running back. Then it has something showing he played at USC and the Buffalo Bills. Writer of the best-selling book If I Did It. If you need to know the mileage of a Ford Bronco, let me know.
I like that. So I have one. And it's actually written up like a Twitter account. Like, you know how people spend way too much time writing their Twitter bios with all this like goofy stuff? So it's going to say, only man to win and steal a Heisman Trophy, father to @Khloe Kardashian, 1994 NBA Finals MVP, just because during the 1994 NBA Finals, during that game, they cut from the game and showed OJ driving his Bronco, and that's whenever he did all that stuff. And then at the end, you know how people like to put a little inspirational quote at the end? It's going to say, only here to get even, quote, OJ Simpson, hashtag double trouble, hashtag Bills, hashtag USC, hashtag Broncos of Twitter. And then, you know how people like to do, say, basically every girl that you ever met that went off to school and then moved to Denver, they do like, they put hometown, arrow, wherever they went to school, arrow, Denver. You know what I'm talking about? His is going to have San Francisco, arrow, LA, arrow, Buffalo, arrow, Lovelock Correctional Center, arrow, Las Vegas.
Love it. It's so great he lives in Las Vegas now, too.
Yeah, I know. It's almost fitting. It's crazy.
Do you want to see what I think his avatar should be on Twitter?
Yes.
Okay, remember that game you played one time called Show Me a Picture?
Yes.
Describe his pictures to the fans.
Okay. So, is that the Kardashian father on the left?
On the right. Johnny Lee Cochran is the black guy in the picture.
Okay.
I don't know who the white guy is.
Okay.
But.
So, Johnny Cochran?
Yes.
Is on the right, and OJ is way too excited and almost surprised that he got off for murder.
Clenching his fists together like he just trying to putt the money golf tournament.
Hands look a little swollen. Looks like he's been on a high salt diet. Does not look good.
No.
And the Johnny Lee Cochran is standing in the background, and he almost looks surprised.
He's guilty, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks super guilty.
Like, huh?
He's like, oh shit.
It's like, I won this case?
He's rethinking that he did too good of a job. He's like, this is not good.
Yeah. I think the only comedic reference to that picture was on South Park one time. The opposing lawyer in the case was Johnny Lee Cochran. And all of the kids are like, Chef, who's that? He goes, oh, we're in trouble now. They got OJ off.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Good old South Park. They had no boundaries. So, Latency, it is time for us to get to Shittiest Take of the Sports Week. We watch a lot of sports talk television. We listen to a lot of sports talk radio. Latency, what was your shittiest take of the week?
So, this take is not objective at all. It's kind of somebody's opinion. Not in their opinion. I think someone's just lying to us here. And it's our good friend LeVar Ball.
LeVar Ball.
After the trade came out for Anthony Davis...
Don't you say LeVar had a shitty take.
It's not a take. I think he's lying to us at this point in time.
Okay.
First time ever this is actually the first time ever I think LeVar has lied to us. So, when the trade happened, he came out and said that this is the worst thing Lakers ever done. The no win tie without Lonzo, all that stuff. And I think he believes that. I really do. LeVar believes that. Today he came out and said that he wanted Lonzo Ball to be traded. I don't think he believes that. LeVar, you did not want your son traded to the New Orleans Pelicans. The last thing you probably wanted was your son traded to the New Orleans Pelicans. Where is he at in LA? You pushed for this for a year to get him to LA. You had a master plan to get all three of your sons on the Lakers. And all of a sudden the tide changed and he's gone, and now you don't want that anymore. I think you're full of shit. You didn't like him being the number 2 guy talked about in LA. Keep in mind you're in LA doing this. Now being the number 2 guy talked about in New Orleans. How many people other than Drew Brees do you hear about from New Orleans? You don't.
Archie Manning.
Even Anthony Davis didn't get talked about, except for he was talked about being traded in New Orleans. There's no way you're happy your son just went to possibly the most irrelevant place in basketball. LeVar Ball, you're full of shit. I can't believe you did this to us. I don't like you, I'll be honest. I don't like you, LeVar. But one thing you always give me is honesty, at least to yourself. But now you're lying to me, you're lying to yourself, lying to everybody, and I don't like that. If there are any LeVar truthers out there that will come on here and tell me why he's not lying, by all means, call me. Or text the show or something. I think LeVar's full of shit.
He's not full of shit. LeVar always speaks the truth, wait and see. He just knows that his son now being in LA with Zion is the best case scenario for the fans of LA. And by LA, I mean Louisiana, which is where he's wanted him to end up this whole time. He's always said he wanted his son to play in LA.
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So he might not have been lying to us.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm under the impression that he wanted to see his son throwing lobs to AD and LeBron.
Oh, yeah.
And not to Zion.
Who we don't really... I mean, we know what he is at the college level.
Yeah, 6'6", 6'7" power forward.
Yeah.
Anytime I think about Zion's height, I just think bust. And I think why are we all so confident he's going to be so great in the NBA? Why is John the number 1 pick overall by a landslide?
No, I agree.
Every time, then I think, well, anybody says he's going to be awesome, he has to be awesome, right? Cause
I've said that before.
I talked about Fletcher before. He said, no, he'll be good, but shit, you know, who else is going to be a guaranteed awesome player? Andrew Wiggins and Ben Simmons and Jabari Parker?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah, Jabari Parker was supposed to be the man, and, well...
Injuries kind of derailed his career. He has been good.
Okafor.
When we look back at it, we're going to look at him and make
And he's more offensively skilled than what Zion is. I mean, Zion's athletic, but offensively skilled.
We don't talk about it because it's not going to matter ever because of the way the process has kind of worked with Simmons and Embiid. But there's going to be a time when we look back and we see, what's his name? That Brown guy, number 1. Kwame Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Mecca Okafor. Jalil Okafor. As the 3 maybe worst number picks of all time.
No, I agree.
But back to shit take.
So, shittiest take of the week, I have Skip Bayless. I promised it throughout the NBA season. The NBA season's officially over. I'm putting a bow on it with this one. I think you guys will all get a kick out of this. And then I also have a bad graphic for us, too. So, Skip Bayless. Number 2. This was just yesterday, okay? Keep in mind, he's still on Kawhi's ass. Number 2 could take a lesson in down-the-stretch clutchness from Gary Woodland, who closed with shot after championship-saving shot. Still can't believe number 2 won Finals MVP after disappearing in the final minutes of Game 3 of the 6 games, especially Game 6. Guess nobody noticed. Okay, so So, did LeBron James win the Finals MVP whenever they beat the Spurs because Ray Allen hit the corner 3?
No, he won the best player through the games.
Exactly.
Every game.
Exactly. We didn't give Ray Allen a trophy just for hitting a clutch shot one time. You can't believe that. Okay, so taking a lesson in clutchness. Kawhi Leonard maybe hit the most clutch shot in NBA basketball history. It's the only Game 7 ceiling buzzer beater in NBA history. Kawhi Leonard hit that shot. So to say that the guy can't do stuff down the stretch is obviously a lie, especially whenever you said how he was automatic in the fourth quarter just 3 years ago. Absolutely terrible take, and to compare him to a golfer going down the stretch is absolutely atrocious because, I mean, it's obviously 2 different sports here, and to say that you don't know how he won the MVP, who the hell else was going to win the MVP on that team? The second best player for the Raptors was Fred VanVleet. And you're not going to give it to Fred VanVleet. The guy won almost unanimously. Did you know that there was a guy that actually voted Fred VanVleet, the NBA, the Finals MVP? That's a joke.
The Skip get a vote?
No, it was not Skip. It was not Skip. It was one of the old guys. But Kawhi Leonard was the best player on the court in almost every single game this series. He was by far the best player on the court with the exception of Game 1 for the Raptors. That's just because Pascal Siakam did stuff that Pascal Siakam should never do. And to say that he should not be the MVP is just absolutely hilarious at this point. Mm-hmm. And I had another thing for the bad takes. So on ESPN, I saw after the Bruins lost Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, they had the little graphic showing who won the Stanley Cup. You know, it had the score and everything. The next graphic on that little ticker said Bruins did not lose a Game 6 or 7. Or it was the first Game 6 or 7 loss this playoffs. Why do you even have to include the Game 6 or 7?
Yeah,
you should have just put it on there for Game 6.
If they didn't win Game 7, then obviously they didn't win Game 7. They're still playing in the playoffs.
Yes, they're still in the playoffs. Like, you could have used that graphic whenever you were, maybe whenever they won Game 6, like, have not lost a Game 6, all Stanley Cup finals.
Yeah.
Game 7, obviously. Like, they're still alive. You're showing the graphic. Obviously, they haven't lost a Game 7. So I thought that was just something funny that I needed to bring to the attention there. So, wait and see. Time for some MLB chatter. The Baltimore Orioles are on pace to finish with the second fewest wins in MLB history for a team to play 162 games. Tied with the 2018 Baltimore Orioles. Team's bad. Projected to win 47 games. 43 is the record, I guess you would call it a record number of fewest games won. Can they suck enough to reach that lucky number?
After they trade Mancini later this year to the Twins or somebody who need an outfielder in a playoff, then yes, absolutely 1,000% they can do that. I just watched a 3-game series against the Orioles. The Red Sox past 2 weekends have played the Royals and they played the Orioles. So I've seen a lot of good baseball.
Yes.
Last couple weeks here, man. Dude, they're so bad. Like, just their defense is awful. Like, you can expect at least one fielding in the infield a game. They were just missing grounders in the Red Sox one of those games. Like, there were guys diving for balls. They even had a dive for him in the fucking knees. Like,
yeah,
terrible baseball team. Just terrible.
You want to watch better baseball than the Orioles? Turn on the College World Series.
Just turn on the Little League World Series in a few weeks when that starts.
When that starts,
like, they can pick up grounders. It's terrible. Horrible.
I think that they have a chance because this team last year they had Adam Jones, who, look at him, he's playing very, very well now. Like, it seems like everybody forgot that Adam Jones was really good just because he played on the Orioles last year. Like, he kind of got shit on, only got $3 million, and it's like, whoa, Adam Jones is good? It's like, guys, come on. Like, he just played on a bad team last year. But this team, they're on pace to do with what they had for Manny Machado last year for half a season. So I think this team will actually eclipse that number of 47, which they had last year, and be worse than that. I'm hoping this Orioles team does not make it to 40. Because at the end of the season, how funny would that be to just see a 3 hanging there in the win column?
That would be good.
That would be absolutely awesome. So I have a little bit of trivia for you, Leighton. You watch almost every single Red Sox game. You watched them play the Orioles this last week. So you're actually more familiar with the Orioles than most people are. Give me 3 players who play for the Orioles.
Trey Mancini. They have an outfielder named...
No, I need full names.
Full names.
I know you can do this for every other MLB team.
Okay,
especially because you play fantasy baseball, too. How many fantasy baseball leagues are you in?
I'm just in one this year.
One? Okay.
Yeah. It's hard to keep track of fantasy baseball.
You play fantasy baseball. You just watched them play a series. Give me 3 names on the team. You got Trey Mancini.
Trey Mancini, Dylan Bundy. Is Andrew Kashner still there?
He's still there.
Okay, Andrew Kashner. Who's filling balls at first base for them right now? Chris Davis. Chris Davis is there. Okay. That's one. They have a lot of guys with Dominican last names.
Yeah.
They have a guy named Ortiz who hit a home run this weekend. That's it. I don't know.
That's bad.
I couldn't name a single reliever.
That's how bad they are. Is that not unbelievable?
God, it's awful.
It would be easy to do it for every other MLB team. The Orioles are just that bad. You just watched them play and you couldn't name 5 guys. I think you got 4.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but what I'm saying there, they're not evaluating the talent they have on their team, which is not much. And like, they got Trey Mancini. He's batting with 300. Some teams are going to take him, and they're giving you an okay prospect for him.
No, he's a fine player.
It's like some teams are going to take him.
Yeah. I just wish Trey Mancini wasn't on this team, just so we could get that one guaranteed all-star that's like hitting 230. It's like 4 home runs.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Let's see. The Rockies. Thin home court advantage.
Whew.
Did you see that series this weekend?
94 total runs scored?
92 total runs.
92 total runs scored?
I think that was like a record since like 1900 or something.
In 1920, 2 teams scored. 1927, teams combined for, I think, 87 runs in the series, and that was it.
Do we still question why people don't vote for Rockies players to win the MVP award in the MLB? I mean, because that's obvious. Like 92 runs, that's a fallacy in itself. But still, just for that conditions to be able to manufacture 92 runs, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. I'm going out there in August watching play the Red Sox. This got me very excited for that series.
Oh, yeah.
Very excited to go watch those 2 games. But, yeah, like, I do now. Honestly, over the past couple of years, I've understood the whole not taking it year by year thing. But if you can do it for a consistent number of years, I'm almost giving you more leeway. Like Larry Walker had 1,000 OPS like, for so many years straight to be in the Hall of Fame as a Rocky. Arenado has done this now for so many years straight. He is one of the best players in baseball. But whenever you see guys go there and they just happen to hit 30 home runs and bat 300 or something, you're like, okay, that's cool. It's playing to the advantage.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like if you try to argue it after this series, like we can just throw back up the football numbers that we had because it was absolutely terrible. So, did you see that Chuck Nasty had 15 hits in this series? It's the most since World War II. Second most since World War II.
15 hits in the four-game series? Yeah.
4-game series. He had 15 hits.
Holy.
Do you know what that puts him on pace for? 607 hits.
I was going to say, what, 15 times 40?
Yeah, 607 hits. So I just don't even see how you can talk about that, especially with the stat I also have. 16 times a team has scored double-digit runs in Coors. They've played 36 games there. I mean, don't you think something's up there? And it seems like the number's actually going up this year. 16 teams have scored double-digit runs in 36 games in Coors. That's almost every other game there's a team scoring 10 or more runs. And I feel like it's gotten worse, and it almost could be to the effect that you think that there's juiced balls this year with the obvious spike in home runs. I mean, at what point? Something has to give, right?
It's something that has to give. And actually, related to the juiced balls thing, because last week, 2 weeks ago, the Red Sox radio announcer, Joe Leone, and whoever he had with him that day, had 2 baseballs in the booth. The balls they used last year, they said, definitely looser than the balls they used this year.
Yeah,
well, looser in the skin.
They've had pitchers do like a blind test, and they're able to tell which balls are which, basically blindfolded. And like nobody in the MLB, like I won't trust anybody whenever they're talking about like the different feel on a ball. But if you throw an MLB pitcher out there, like they're obviously going to be able to tell a difference, and they can.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not bitching about it. It's maybe fun to watch.
Oh yeah, 100%. So latency, 3 fallacies from this season. These are always fun to talk about. What 3 fallacies do you have that are your favorite in the MLB this year?
We did this a month or so ago. So I'll update one for you. Last time I was on here, Tommy La Stella had more home runs than strikeouts. Well, now he has 20 strikeouts and 15 home runs. But in his career, before this year, he's had 10 home runs, 828 at-bats. This year, he had 15 home runs and 229 at-bats.
The balls are different.
Definitely different balls, yeah.
The balls are different.
Juice is back.
The juice is back. I'm going to give you one that might even prove to the juice is back because it's a stat that we're going to have broken from the juice era.
Okay.
Josh Bell has 65 RBIs in 71 games. He's on pace for 148 RBIs this season. That would be the most since 2007, and it was A-Rod. He had 62 RBIs last year in 148 games.
So A-Rod in 07, he was taking some kind of hormones, huh?
I think he was.
Juice is back.
The juice is back.
Juice is back.
But how crazy is that? The guy had 62 RBIs last year in 148 games. He already has 65.
Yeah. Which, he is one of those players, kind of like Byron Buxton. Not to the same level of Byron Buxton.
Yeah, but we've all been waiting for this.
People who followed the Pirates, who followed baseball, had went for Josh Bell to be good. Not like MVP level good, but good.
He's a guy last year in your fantasy draft, everybody's like, he's young, he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
You drafted him late, and you thought you got a steal. He was absolutely terrible, and you thought this year, like, no way I'm touching him. And then you miss out on
Yeah,
him.
he goes in like the exact same ADP, maybe a little bit higher. Nailed it.
Yeah. Latency, what's another fallacy you got?
Hyunjin Ryu currently leads the league 1.26 ERA. That is hopefully the fallacy. But he's on pace to throw around 280 innings. He could get 300 innings pitched depending on how they want to rest him and stuff for the playoffs. If he eclipses 200 innings pitched, just 200, he will be the second pitcher ever to have an ERA below 1.5 with more than 200 innings pitched.
Wow.
Only Bob Gibson.
I think the 2 runs the Cubs got on him yesterday was unearned.
They were unearned, yep. But mostly Bob Gibson. And I talked about the season before, 1.12 ERA in the year of the pitcher.
Wow. That's crazy. Another thing on that, this isn't one of my fallacies, this is just something I saw during watching the Cubs game yesterday. He actually has a lower on-base percentage from guys that the players have lower on-base percentage against him than any season that Clayton Kershaw's pitched.
It is nuts.
So that's just how dominant this dude's been.
Also, those 2 unearned runs yesterday were the only 2 unearned runs he's had all season.
Wow.
And great defense behind him, too.
Yeah.
When he pitches, the stars just align right now.
Yeah, everything's working. So Latency, you know who Pete Alonso is?
Polar bear, they call him.
Yeah. So
Get
Pete
the
Alonso,
fuck out of baseball.
Yes, he does. In fact, he has hit 23 balls over the fence on 67 hits.
Oh my gosh.
Less than every third hit is a home run for him. He is on pace to have 52 home runs on 152 hits. That has only happened. There's only been 6 times ever that a player has had 52 or more home runs on 152 or less hits. Mark McGwire 4 times, Jim Thome, and Jose Batista, and every single one of those guys had an on-base percentage higher than 350. He does not.
Okay. That's some Joey Gallo type stuff.
Yes, it is.
But Joey Gallo, have you seen Joey Gallo's numbers now? Same pop, but he hit like 270.
Oh, wow.
He got good.
Yeah, he's the only guy going backwards.
Oh,
He's the only guy hitting for contact.
He going back to the 60s and 70s.
Whenever everybody was zigging, he zagged. Now that everybody's zagging, he's zigging.
Over the head of the game.
That's awesome. But yeah, 23 home runs on 67 hits.
Mm-hmm.
That's unreal.
Yep.
So let's see what's your third fallacy.
This is one I'm glad we did it this week. I've noticed this stat. I check almost every stat every week to see where people are at. This guy has been leading this stat for at least 4 weeks now. Here are your top 4 leaders in intentional walks. Number 4 with 10, Cody Bellinger, MVP candidate for the season.
Makes sense.
Number 3 with 11, Mike Trout.
Makes sense.
People care about player of all time. Makes sense. Number 2 with 12, Christian Yelich. Makes sense. Number 1 with 13, batting .205 with a 277 OBP and a 374 slugging, Maikel Franco of the Philadelphia Phillies with 13. That is called you bat in the 8 spot, and there's always a base open for the pitcher to come up to bat.
That's awesome.
Leading the league in intentional walks is Maikel Franco.
What's his OPS?
OPS, what is it?
Like 600?
600, like 651, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's like almost half of Cody Bellinger's.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. He's 13 intentionally walks. Do you know how many times he even walked on the year total?
What?
22 times.
20? What? So 9 of them.
9 of them.
He's been walked 9 times, basically.
Yes.
That
Put on base, automatically 13 times, walked 9 times.
That is what you call 2 outs.
Mm-hmm.
Bases are cleared. Guy in the 7 spot comes up and always hits a double.
Yep. And then you have
the pitcher hitting
bat 9. Like, well, put him on. He's batting .205.
I bet there's a pitcher on his team with a higher batting average.
Yedovic's, probably.
Maybe not on his team, but in the MLB.
MLB probably.
Yeah.
It blew my mind because when you look at guys who get walked a lot, Bryce Harper, he had low average, didn't anything to hit. Michael Franco gets walked. One, he probably just can't hit anything. I don't know. Like 13 intentionally walked. Leads the league in intentional walks.
And he's only been walked 9 times that weren't intentional.
Bang, 205.
That's outstanding.
Barely above the Mendoza line.
That's outstanding. So we've had a lot of good ones. But not to diminish your fallacies, I have one that is the best fallacy maybe in baseball history.
Shit.
You ready? Baltimore Orioles are bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've had 20 guys on their team that have pitched at least one pitch this season. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
27 guys. 10 of those guys have more earned runs given up than strikeouts. That's 37% of their pitchers have more earned runs than strikeouts recorded.
Okay.
That's insane.
It is.
That's insane. Okay, 10 of their 27 guys that have pitched have more earned runs than strikeouts recorded. Chris Davis is not one of them. And he pitched.
How? Who are they?
1 strikeout, 1 earned run.
Who are they?
All their pitchers?
Yeah.
Oh, I can pull them up, right?
Wait, so what's the team?
The Baltimore Orioles
Oils.
have more.
Okay, I didn't hear you say a team name. I thought you just wanted me to guess 2 guys. No.
No.
The Oils have.
The Orioles have 10 guys on their roster. They've had 27 guys pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of linked. So I'm going to break it down. 27 guys in their team have pitched. 10 of those guys have given up more earned runs than strikeouts. 2 of them, or I think one of them's at least a starter.
That's really
one's
bad.
a starter. Yes, more earned runs than strikeouts recorded. Chris Davis is not one of them.
How?
That's the ultimate fallacy. I don't know. I don't think
Dude,
there's
the
10
Orioles
guys.
are so bad.
That's how bad they are. They have 2 guys that are starting with an ERA north of 7.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, I think one's 9 or something. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah. Oh, this isn't a shit of the week, but I'm going back to this real quick. After the Red Sox beat the Orioles, Christian Vasquez, our catcher, walked by immediately and said, "We're back." You can't say you're back after you lose 4 out of 5 and happen to beat the Rangers twice and the Orioles twice. You don't get to say that then.
No. Not
If you're 5-5 the last 10 games, you can't say that, Christian.
Yeah. Read the room.
Yeah.
So wait and see. It is time. Each week you go out and you watch several different movies. You come in and you break them down. Wait and see. What movie are we reviewing today? 1-2-1-2 Pip's Entertainment Review. Sit on down for a movie to view.
This week we're going to talk about Men in Black International.
Ooh, that looks good.
It does look good, doesn't it? Looks fun.
Yeah.
This is one of those movies that I talk about sometime.
And it has some like a nostalgic feel to
Yeah.
it.
It's like the reboots that are unneeded reboots, but you know they're going to grab money from people who, you know, our age, old enough, who have seen Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones Men in Black back in the day. Oh, let's see how Chris Hemsworth and what's her name? Tessa Thompson do in the movie. And for those 2 actors and actress being likable as they are, the movie just misses points. Like, yes, it is fun. Yes, it is exciting. But the story and the plot to go along with those 2 things is just so unimaginative, and it feels kind of run down at this point in time. Over the past, crap, man, how many times are we gonna have this plot in a movie? An international bad guy wants to destroy the world.
Every other movie.
How many times? Exactly, it's every other movie. And Men in Black, it should be different because it should be alien race come in and destroys the world. But
Wait, it's not?
It's international bad guy works with alien race to destroy the world. So it's like Fast and the Furious meets the Avengers, and we put them together. So it's cool, but
That sounds cool.
It's cool, but I don't know. Me personally,
I'm just thinking of Thanos racing Vin Diesel.
Me personally, I'm just so run down on the whole Fast and the Furious plot to every movie. I was saying different. I wish this movie would just been all alien race come to do it like the old ones were, with a freaking bug alien guy took over the guy's body and did all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
That was great. I'll never forget the first time I saw that guy eat somebody.
Yeah.
That traumatized me for a year of Men in Black. I couldn't watch Men in Black for a couple of years because that messed me up so bad.
That's funny.
But so this movie, so having Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, both from the Avengers movies. Tessa Thompson was a Valkyrie who was very little known. Chris Hemsworth was Thor. They come in, they're great. The effects and the writing in it is actually pretty good. I just got so tired of the plot, and the plot is so run down. They'll probably make another one of these movies because it's going to make okay money. Not a big fan on it. Wish it would take a little bit more time to really do justice to the fans of the series who want to revisit within their childhood and share it with their kids and young people in their lives. 1.2 dips. No. That's too low.
That's real low.
1.4 dips. 1.4. So probably like
that's not good.
Probably 4.8, 4.9 on the 10 scale.
That's crazy because the way that they present it, it's like I don't know if it was just like the nostalgic thing, but it looked cool, and I'm like, oh man, I was like, that's kind of exciting. I mean, it's nothing that I would just like get up and go watch, but obviously you watch them all, so that sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel
like this would be something hard to screw up though.
I thought about this sometimes too. It feels like when you look at movies, sometimes the movie writes itself, but I guess I never wrote a movie before. I'd like to write something like that one time, but I've done it before. Actually, I guess it's harder than it seems. But man, I feel like you could just remade the first movie again, and got 1.8 dips out of it, 7 out of 10 out of it. I don't know.
That's a bummer.
I don't know.
So, any bold predictions for this sports week?
We didn't talk about this real quick. The Yankees have Encarnacion.
Yes.
To the league in home runs. Liverpool, they did it right after the Sox got 5 games back. Scared.
You're
scared. So now my prediction is the Yankees make one more move for a starting pitcher.
They're scared.
That's like won't be referenced this time, but I bet they make a move for a starting pitcher this week.
All right. So my bold prediction, I'm going to go with, since I'm like 90% wrong on these, I'm going to say that the Pacers do not draft Bol.
Okay.
That's my bold prediction because I'm never right on these. So let me be wrong. Indiana. Do not draft Bol. The rest of the NBA. Don't draft him. Let him fall to the Pacers. Let me be wrong. I'm okay with that.
How about a prospect, man? Oh yeah, and Dippers on Wednesday, me and Fletcher will break down the AD trade from every possible angle. We'll talk about teams, the Knicks, everything, how that falls back. Talk about the NBA draft. Talk about prospects like Ball, who are just incredibly high ceiling, but incredibly devastating low floor. All that stuff. Make sure you listen.
And are you guys doing a 60 pick mock draft?
We are 96 pick mock draft. We will talk about every pick in the lottery. Talk about some picks outside of that me and Fletcher think could be good value picks. So second round guys, all that picks, and that'll be our last one until end of July when free agency is cooling down.
Okay. And on that note, for Drake, for Leighton, as always, Dippers, stay saucy.